sir, with Pontypridd. Can I take your order, please?
Nathan, after your loss to KOVALEV, how did you feel emotionally, and what was your attitude towards boxing in general?
After KOVALEV, it was a big defeat for me, my first career defeat. So, I took it hard originally, because being a winner and all of a sudden having my first crushing defeat, it hit me hard, and initially definitely, I was a bit gutted, and it took me a while to get over it, but you've got to get over it. It's life, in life you get setbacks, in professional sport especially, and in boxing, so it's how you come back. That's what defines a champion then. How you come back after a defeat, and I'm up and running again now. I took a bit of time out, prepared for the cruiserweight division, and here we are. In hindsight now, I look back and think, yeah, perhaps I shouldn't have took the fight. With KOVALEV, he was a big danger man coming in. A lot of people warned me about KOVALEV. HBO was coming over for KOVALEV in particular. They were supporting this guy, massive puncher. And the warning signs were there, and perhaps I shouldn't have took the fight. I didn't need to take the fight. It was a voluntary defence. My promoter kind of wanted the fight. It was an easy fight for him to make because the money was there, and that my promoter wanted it for that reason, purposely for money. So, in hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have took the fight. But being a fighter, you do it. And I had warning signs of a lot of people saying, Nath, don't take this fight, you don't need to. This guy's a danger man. But I thought, I just got to go for it. And I went for it, and it didn't pay off. But sometimes in life, it either works or it doesn't.
Simple question, how hard does KOVALEV hit?
Very hard. I've fought and sparred big punchers and good fighters in the past. And in the gym, I've sparred heavyweights and good fighters. KOVALEV is just a different league compared to all of them. His punch power is nothing I felt before. I haven't felt that before. I just, how can a human being at light heavyweight punch so hard? It was freakish power. And he's gone on to show that by knocking everyone out since he's fought me. And he's one of them. He's like a Gennady Golovkin. Those two are a different breed.
During your time as world champion, you spent a bit of time training in LA with Freddie Roach, and you also fought in Los Angeles as well. And Freddie Roach was singing your praises, saying what a great boxer you could be in the future. You also spent time training with Adam Booth after the KOVALEV fight. With that in mind, you could have probably picked any trainer in the world to decide to train with, yet you decided to go with relatively inexperienced Dan Wilson. Yeah,
well, when I was in America, I was in the Wildcard gym, and we had a few sessions there. I was sparring, and Freddie Roach was there watching, and I was on fire in the gym, for those few sessions, and he was liking what he saw, and he would have, well, he said he would have jumped at the chance to train me, so that was a big compliment for me. I was on top of my game then, but it's just one of those things here at home. This is my training camp. I know I live here, but it's at the same time it's my training camp. It's got everything here. I've got the gym. I've got my running routes. Everything's accessible for me. I know where everything is. I tried a training camp in London with Adam Booth. Excellent trainer, really knowledgeable. Got a lot of respect for him, but it was just being based in London. I'd done it for 4 weeks, and then my mind, I started to struggle. Then I thought, I need to get home. That's my training camp. And Darren, who's been part of the team for quite a while now, I thought, let's step him up to the plate, and he stepped up, and it's working well, enjoying it as well.
What sort of things differently have you done with Darren that you might not have done in your previous training camps?
I think with myself and Darren, I can have a lot more input as well. We kind of work together, whereas in other training camps it's purposely the trainer's way or no way. But I'm an intelligent guy, and I know what I need to do as well. And I think I want responsibility for what I do in training as well. And with me and Darren, we can both have input, and I like that.
I remember I can't remember which fight it was of yours, one of your title defences, and you surprised me a little bit when you said you don't really have any tactics going into a fight, you just sort of train and turn up on the day. Is that still the case, or do you sort of have you planned for this fight?
It's a large 2/3 of the case. 1/3 of me looks at an opponent. I have a look back at maybe a few of his fights. Get a general idea of his style, and maybe think, oh, I'm gonna take this guy on. But generally, it's just a matter of training well, turning up, and whatever happens on the night, my instincts will take over, and that's the way it's always worked for me.
You seemed very comfortable at light heavyweight. I mean, I was there one time when you had a big plate of food about a month before a fight. So you surprised a lot of people with the decision to move up in weight, especially when at one point you were considering dropping down to super middle to fight Froch if the fight could be made. Yeah. So what was the decision to move up?
I think I was light heavyweight for 5 or 6 years, and I was there for a long time. I've moved up from welterweight, light middle, super middle, light heavyweight. So naturally, over the years, my progression, it was saying I'm getting bigger and bigger. And I was light heavy for 6 years. Originally, it was comfortable to make the weight. I made the weight comfortably. But then, towards the end, it was not a struggle making the weight, but just performing at the weight. I felt something wasn't right. I felt a little bit weak, a little bit drained, and I thought it's big time hindering my performance. The reason why I said I'd go down to super middleweight, and I would have, to fight Carl Froch, because it was such a big fight. I would have prepared, I would have sacrificed a lot of weight for that. It would have been hard. I would have burnt a lot of muscle. Perhaps would have put myself in a bit of danger, but for the magnitude of the fight, I would have been prepared to do it. But that was my last chance saloon to try and get that big fight. I knew I was going to move up to cruiserweight eventually.
Hello, so we're Ponte Freed. Can I take your order, please?